And now, a special presentation from Broadcast Row. Broadcasting live from the greatest city in the world. Wake up. It's time, people, for your morning online gathering. Hosted by Mardel. It's the Wrestling Morning Show. And it starts now.
All right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this SummerSlam special. This is Mardel, the host of the show. Now, we do the Wrestling Morning Show every Tuesday and Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern, but today, a very special day. SummerSlam, it's finally here. I'm actually excited about this. 6 hours? Yeah, sure, 6 hours, but it's going to be fun, especially with the card tonight. If you're out there, it's your first time listening because, well, you don't wake up early enough to listen, or you're actually too busy. This is the Wrestling Morning Show, a conversation every Tuesday and Wednesday morning. Now, the number to call in, you could call or text. If you don't want to talk to me, that's fine, but send me a text, 844-627-3352. That's 844-627-3352. You can follow us at Live Morning Show on Twitter, where most of our fans hang out. Also, we have a special hashtag today, which I'm sure no one's going to use, but it's SummerSlam, the Wrestling Morning Show. That easy. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? First thing I want to tell you guys, and once again, hopefully you have an opinion. I don't rant, I don't curse, I don't try to pop anybody who's with me, considering I do the show alone. But to be honest with you, I did spark some controversy, and I'm curious what you guys think. Brock Lesnar is going to retain. So is Jinder Mahal, and I'm going to explain why later on in the show. Also, we got Coder chiming in. I want to know what you guys think in the Twitterverse. Plus, this is a show to kind of say thank you and hello to the friends in the UK, Canada, around the world who have listened to the show. Now, we're 6 hours away from the UK, and of course, that's a hotbed for wrestling. Big shout out to the fans there. They're as passionate as it gets, of course, Canada and around the world. How do I know this? Because I'm on Twitter interacting with them pretty much on a daily basis. But last night, let's take you to NXT TakeOver. That was pretty good. I am not going to lie to you. It was a great show. Miss Moon, hell of a job. Asuka, awesome. That was a great match. Now, obviously, people say, well, why wasn't that the main event? Of course, it's not going to be the main event because we knew who was coming. Mr. Adam Cole, welcome. Welcome to the show, baby. That was great to see him, even though it was a horrible secret, and we knew he was going to show up last night. Also, it was just a hotbed last night in Brooklyn. I mean, the one thing about the East Coast is a lot of you guys know, when they do shows in New York, when they do shows in Brooklyn, when they do shows anywhere in the Eastern Seaboard, but mostly in New York, you're getting Philadelphia 2 hours away. You're getting people from Maryland, the D.C., Baltimore area, 3 hours away. Connecticut, possibly 30 minutes away. Everybody from the East, Boston, 3 hours away. If you take the Excella train, you're coming down. So it's the hotbed of the East Coast with the passionate wrestling fans. That's why a lot of these shows go over with the great fans. Plus, you're limited to 16,000 seats when everybody's trying to get seats. So it was a hot crowd last night. It was a great show last night. All indications, though, tonight. So not only are they doing 6 hours, but we actually there's some pretty good pretty good matches that are going to take place in the kickoff. We kind of wondered this. It was obviously put together last second. Hardy Boys, Jason Jordan. I'm curious the reception he's going to have against The Miz and The Miztourage. New Day. I'm pretty surprised this is part of the kickoff. I imagine that this will probably be the last match before SummerSlam starts. New Day. It's going to be Big E and Xavier, their big offense, against the Usos. And, of course, Tozawa and Neville. They will go on for the Cruiserweight Championship. So in this kickoff, this 2-hour kickoff, there's two major title bouts that are going on. Okay, so we got the Fatal 4-Way. That all eyes will be on that. Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, Braun Strowman. I'm excited for this. And what I was really excited about was the fact that, first of all of them are together. We didn't know how this was going to transpire over the summer. And I've mentioned this many times. This has been the craziest summer I could remember. And it started with the Maharaja becoming champion. Well, actually, it started with the opportunity of the Maharaja possibly could become champion. And then he did. And all bets were off after that. And I believe he's going to retain as well. So we got Brock Lesnar, Roman, Samoa Joe, and Braun Strowman. And what a summer Braun Strowman has had. It's been unbelievable. I mean, I've enjoyed this entire summer. And I could honestly say that I could see Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns anytime they want to go at it. I love it.
I like hurting Roman Reigns.
That's been the quote of the summer.
I like hurting Roman Reigns.
So Braun and Roman together in the ring. Samoa Joe, first of all, this entire summer, Samoa Joe, we made the coquina clutch become the most devastating move in the history of professional wrestling. It really has been, if you think about it. And it's also a hats off to everybody, some of the top stars who actually fell asleep, to put Samoa Joe's coquina clutch over. And, of course, we have Brock Lesnar. And Brock Lesnar, that's all we've been talking about. We got John Jones and that whole situation. Is he going to be leaving? What's going to be going on? You have to remember a couple things. The one thing I need you guys to remember is Brock is on contract, my friends. Brock is on contract. He's not going anywhere. And not only that, one of the main reasons I believe he's going to retain is the next pay-per-view, No Mercy, is in Los Angeles. And that's big money. And all eyes will be on that. And that's going to be for, obviously, that's the Raw brand. So Brock Lesnar retains. And more importantly, because everyone thinks he's going to lose. So one of my favorite things to do is always, it's a subjective sport. It's subjective entertainment. It's your own opinions. That's why we love it. That's why I don't hate anybody's opinion, even if it's outlandish or stupid. It's an opinion. You got to respect an opinion. You don't have to agree with it. So with all eyes on the Staples Center next month, and now we all know as wrestling fans, events that occur in September, in October, and even sometimes the Survivor Series in November, it's all a big lead up to the top of the year. So with them going to be at Staples Center, we have Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar will walk into the Staples Center as the champion. We have a big name like Brock Lesnar, one of the headliners for No Mercy, September 24th in Los Angeles. Not only that, who's going to debut tomorrow on Raw? John Cena, another headliner for the show at the Staples Center. So not only is it because of No Mercy in Los Angeles, not only because the big name of Brock Lesnar, and don't get me wrong, the big name of Roman Reigns emerging as well, I truly do believe Brock Lesnar will retain because everyone thinks he's going to lose tonight. People think he's going to walk out. Now, don't be confused by walking out and, of course, taking a huge break. Nothing has also been set or confirmed for him to face John Jones or even return to the UFC. Join the conversations, 844-627-3352. Call, text the program. That's all we ask. Everybody who's listening right now, thank you so much. We have, can we say gentlemen conversations? And for the women out there, ladylike conversations in the morning. The show was created for you guys in the morning to give you guys something to do, really. You could listen to the FM or AM dial and experience 15 minutes worth of commercials or listen to the same songs that you have on your phone or the same songs that are on the radio. But guess what? Your mornings could actually be a little bit fun. Listen to the program. Tuesday, Wednesday, 9 a.m. Eastern. All information is on the WrestlingMorningShow.com. We have an app. That's the easiest way. Plug in the app. You can download it in iTunes and Google Play. We always are live on Twitter, on Facebook, on Spreaker. Just click a couple buttons, and it's live. And we have limited commercials. So let's talk about some other events that are going on. And so when I mentioned that Brock was going to retain, I talked to a lot of people about this. They're like, no way, it's going to be Roman. A lot of people felt Braun because it's been truly the summer of Braun in a lot of ways, at least on the Raw brand. But Brock retains. First of all, no one's expecting Brock to retain. People think he's gone. He's going to retain tonight. And it's going to be a bloodbath between Roman, Samoa, and Braun. Brock will retain tonight. I could be 100% wrong, but that's my own opinions. Like I say, it's a somewhat educated opinion, but that could also be wrong as well. Brock will go into the Staples Center next month as the champion, and they will have two marquee blockbuster superstar names, Brock Lesnar and John Cena. I'm excited for the reaction for Cena, not so much tonight, but definitely when he debuts on Monday Night Raw tomorrow. Jinder Mahal, the Maharaja. The Maharaja. What a summer he has had. And we mentioned this yesterday. This year, of course, last night being the crowning achievement that 3MB, all three members have been champions. Drew last night winning the NXT title. Heath Slater and Rhino becoming tag team champs. And Jinder Mahal. There's also not a great confirmation that they're going to India, but they're supposed to be going to India. All the time and all the effort they put in Jinder Mahal, what he is doing. First of all, he's evolving every single week. I've been critical early on that there were times where some of his promos were your typical stereotype of a heel. The mugging of the face, the deep voice. And still that continues, but they're adding elements to it, to supporting. The $1,000 suits, the Singh brothers, the pops and circumstance of the Indian Punjabi culture that comes out. I think it's phenomenal. Just getting better and better every week with Jinder. And guess what? People are hating him. It's not cool heat. It's not cheap heat. It's actually natural heat. That's what Jinder's getting. All reports and everything that's been indicated is that Jinder is the one that proposed this entire storyline. Now, he has not admitted it, but people backstage have. And good for Jinder. How many times does Vince and Hunter always talk about, you got to grab the brass ring? Well, Jinder's like, okay, look, everyone thinks I'm this enhancement jobber. I have one thing going for me right now. I'm a foreigner. I'm from India. And what has always worked in the history of professional wrestling? A heel from the outside. So Jinder Mahal, congratulations to you. It really has been the summer of the Maharaja. With all the efforts, with all the money, with all the talent, with all the focus they've put into creating the Maharaja, he is going over against Shinsuke Nakamura tonight. People expect, since Nakamura made a great splash with the title in Brooklyn last year, that he would go over this year. The casual fan that does not know Shinsuke Nakamura, who arguably is one of the greatest wrestlers today, when it's all said and done, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Yes, of course. He's still very new to the casual wrestling fan. Now, if you're listening to the show, you are not a casual wrestling fan. You've just taken your time to listen to a wrestling show. You're not a casual fan. You're smarter than the casual fan. And I believe the casual fan makes up 80% of viewership. And that's what it's about. Hardcore fans go to the shows for the most part. Shinsuke is going to have a tough time with the casual wrestling fan. It is very easy to identify with Jinder because, well, Jinder is just a heel. We know what Jinder's about. We know the message. He's superior. He has love for his country. 1.3 billion people. I fall in love with Jinder every week. Because, and honestly, mostly because I love it, but also there's an element of, this is Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal is the champion. The guy was in 3MB. But he goes over tonight. Now, I don't think they're going to embarrass Shinsuke tonight. They won't. I think we'll see Corbin. We may see somebody else go after Shinsuke. We haven't seen Ziggler in a while. He could be somebody as well. I still think at some point, we're still going to see, and I think for his career, we need to see the heel Zack Ryder. And one thing I despise, we should turn him heel. We should turn him heel. Oh, he'd be better as a heel. When's he going to turn heel? That's what everyone's solution. They don't think about it. But I've thought about it. Have you thought about it? Zack Ryder has exhausted everything possible with the current Zack Ryder gimmick. The Long Island Ice Z, that has been exhausted. He's not taking it to another level. He won't take it to another level. Let's go in a completely different direction with Zack Ryder. Why not? A heel Zack Ryder. Not only that, what do you come out with that? You also got Mojo Rawley, who becomes a face. And Mojo Rawley, you've seen him evolve as well. And what I love about Mojo, and I can't believe I said what I love about Mojo, which makes no sense, but there is that hype persona in the ring. And when he does these great interviews, and they've become really good, it's the real him. It's a calm demeanor. That's what we miss with Talking Smack. That was the ability for superstars to go on to the show and really kind of be themselves. And they don't have to fill up the arena with this loud voice. No, it was a nice demeanor, and a lot of people got over just by being on that show because they can be themselves. They don't have to be loud, and the persona doesn't have to be big. Join the conversation, my friends. It's 2:20 Eastern Standard Time, 844-627-3352. Once again, you can call me or text 844-627-3352. Join the conversation on Twitter. Our handle is Live Morning Show. Or the hashtag if you want. SummerSlam, TWMS. Now, TWMS obviously stands for the Wrestling Morning Show. We also got one Twitter poll out there right now. I would love to see blank in any capacity at SummerSlam tonight. You got four options. Elias addressing Brooklyn, Breezango or the Fashion Files, an NXT call-up, which Mr. Rude, don't be surprised we see him soon, especially with the indication of Daniel Bryan, Shane O'Mac, all these other people scouting out NXT last night. And the fourth option, Carmella cashes in. I don't know what is the most likely to happen. We'll find out tonight. So we're live right now, ladies and gentlemen. It's 2:22. You can call or text the program. It's very simple, 844-627-3352. We're doing the show pretty much for the audiences who don't have a chance to really kind of listen to the program. A lot of you guys have a lot of things to do in the morning, so I can't expect everyone to listen. But the best part about it is when we conclude with the show, and normally it's a 2-hour program, it goes on to podcast form. And then you could pick it up everywhere. We have it obviously on iTunes and Google Play and Spreaker and Stitcher and iHeartRadio, YouTube and SoundCloud. So why not? And what I'm doing now is I'm trying to tweet to get people to actually listen to the program. Yay. It's hard to do a couple things at the same time. I met a lot of cool people, by the way, on Twitter in the last couple of weeks. You guys are awesome. I love the passion. I love the passion of the wrestling fan. It rarely gets a lot of love, to be honest with you, in comparing it to a lot of other sports. But there's just an unbelievable passion. There's a certain group of people, to be honest with you. And I love you guys, by the way. So we do this show for you guys who don't have an opportunity to listen to the program. So it's one big infomercial trying to put the show over. You know what else I'm excited about? What's going to go on Natalya and Naomi? What about Carmella? How does she play into it? James Ellsworth. Now, this is also billed as probably Carmella's hometown, Staten Island. Take the Verrazano Bridge. You're there. You can take the ferry if you want. So this is close to home. In her gimmick world, she's from Staten Island. She's a princess, for God's sakes. Pound for pound, Naomi. You don't get any better than Naomi, except for Charlotte. I would be surprised to see Charlotte there today. There technically wasn't really anything for her to do. The crowd would just absolutely erupt if she was there in honor of her father. And we wish the best to the nature boy, Ric Flair. We're going to come back to the show very soon. We take a small little break, play one commercial. We'll be right back. And we got so much more to talk about. Hopefully you could join us, whatever you're doing. Just listen to the show. Call or text 844-627-3352. It's Mardel. It's our SummerSlam special. Take a small break.
The Wrestling Morning Show with Mardel. Live on Broadcast Row.
Okay, so welcome back to the program. It's Mardel. 844-627-3352. And now, as our voiceover, Mr. J. Douglas just said, welcome to the Wrestling Morning Show. But no, we're not. It's in the afternoon. Discussing SummerSlam, a couple hours away from the kickoff. Thought we'd all come together. Anybody who's listening to the program. We're off the heels of NXT TakeOver last night. Obviously, Drew McIntyre wins the title. But then we see Adam Cole, place erupts, horrible secret. We kind of knew it was going to happen. We move on to some of the cards today. And if you just joined us, yes, this is what I'm saying. Brock goes over. Jinder is going to go over tonight. That's what I believe. And if you ever heard me kind of mention and thoroughly think out some of these matches, you know I've been completely wrong in the past. Like if there was actually a tally of my thoughts, I have a loose streak. I like to think outside the box a lot of times. What I'm going to love tonight, I'm going to love AJ Styles and Kevin Owens. I'm going to love that. And I'm going to love to see how this transcends into Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon in the future. That's actually what I'm getting excited about. Randy Orton and Rusev. Okay, that's going to be quick. There's a lot of Rusev fans out there, and there are a lot of Randy Orton fans out there. Join the conversation. Call or text 844-627-3352. Also, we got Coder coming up for the code break. I'm actually excited about that. Talk to Coder. He was on both episodes this past week, but we had no time to get to his thoughts about some of the matches for SummerSlam. He'll be on the program. Okay, Sasha. She's going against Alexa Bliss. You talk about Alexa Bliss. I mentioned on the show many times. She's seen every female who's come in after her pretty much get called up to the main roster. Alexa Bliss gets drafted, one of the lowest. I think she might have been the last or one of the lowest picks. And look what she's done. She was given the ball and she ran with it. No one expected Alexa Bliss to be as over as she is. She has been another highlight of the summer. SummerSlam is pretty much the season finale of summer wrestling. And all these major stars are in this card tonight. Alexa Bliss, I mean, she's getting arguably the biggest pop out of any female. And yes, I'm including Sasha into this. There are a lot of Sasha fans out there. There are a lot of Bayley fans out there. Let's refresh in your memory about a couple things. Let's go back and listen to something that just blew up the internet. Remember this?
Bayley, I can't help but notice that you didn't even look up once when that footage was rolling, and it's totally understandable. as now you are prevented from competing at SummerSlam against Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship?
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, I haven't even watched it back. I can't watch the footage because I know it's just gonna make me mad. It just makes me angry. In the moment, I knew that something was wrong with my shoulder. I felt it all tense up. It started getting all warm, and I haven't felt that before, so I knew something was wrong. But I told myself, if I don't finish this match, if I don't defeat Nia, nobody is going to take me as a threat heading into SummerSlam, especially Alexa Bliss. And after everything she's put me through this year, I had to prove her wrong. And normally, I'm a happy person. It's really hard to be happy right now. I sat on my couch all week, and I went through the waves of emotion. I was sad, I was angry, I started getting bitter. But, well, this is gonna sound cheesy, guys, but you guys made me feel a lot better. I saw your tweets and your posts. I got a lot of texts. I don't know who's booing. I'm thanking the ones who are not booing right now. I'm thanking everybody who tweeted me from the WWE Universe.
Bizarro World here in Toronto.
You guys who tweeted me and who are sending your well wishes are the ones I want to thank, because you're the reason I'm going to move forward, and then I'm going to put a smile on my face and look forward to coming back.
Well, I know everybody is waiting for you to come back as soon as possible, but as for tonight, the process to determine your replacement begins next in the first of 2 triple threat matches. So tell me, who do you think will face Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam?
Well, I'm going to choose the one that I think deserves it, my friend, the boss, Sasha Banks.
Well, actually, okay, so it's been the summer of Miss Bliss. Oh, without a doubt. More importantly, I'm just proud of this entire situation with Alexa Bliss. Given an opportunity, and she's crushed it. Absolutely crushed it. Well, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen. The moment has arrived. I believe he's on the line. And guess what? You could join the conversation as well. 844-627-3352. And now it's time.
It's the Code Break with Brent Coder.
Happy SummerSlam Day to you, Coder.
A happy SummerSlam Day to you, my man.
Guess what I'm doing right now? I'm too sweeting you in the air. Catch it. Too sweet. Too sweet.
Right back at you, man.
Okay. First of all, I'm super excited. I'm not going to lie to you. In the past 6 hours, it might have been a little tough, but when they add 3 shows into the kickoff, and not only 3 shows, but I want to see the Hardy Boys. I want to see the reaction to Jason Jordan. I love The Miz. I want to see the reaction to The Miz Taraj. The New Day. Getting a little fatigued with them. More importantly, I want to see the Usos' reaction, the hotbed of Brooklyn. And, of course, we have Tozawa and Neville. That's the kickoff. Oh, that's just the kickoff. And then we have 10 other matches for 4 hours. Everybody pretty much is on this. Oh, where's Ziggler? We don't know. Where is Ziggler? Maybe he shows up. And maybe if we're lucky enough, we'll get my boy Elias Sampson somewhere. You're listening to Coder. Coder, okay, I did make some comments earlier. I know you hate that. And obviously, on this show, there's no rants. There's no cursing. We're not trying to get ourselves over because, we're over the age of 18. But I've said this before, and I know you hate it. Brock Lesnar is going to retain tonight in the highly anticipated Fatal 4-Way. I assume you disagree.
Yeah, I mean, well, obviously that could totally be the case, but that's not the way what I see happening. I don't think that would be the smart way to book this. You're talking about a guy who really doesn't need a title at all. So I think it's time to put the strap on somebody else that's there, regularly. I think that helps the brand, in so many ways. I mean, because not only is he not on Raw every week, although he has been around quite a bit this summer comparatively, But he's not around during house shows. He's not a draw regularly for the brand. And so I think it's time for them to make a move and put the strap on somebody else. And I really think it's going to be Joe. I think it's been, for that brand, at least the last few months have been the summer of Joe and the Coquina Clutch, being established as the most dominant move in WWE right now. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I think that's going to happen tonight, and I think that we're going to see the end of the Brock Lesnar title reign. That's going to make the news. That's going to really boost a guy who needs it, Joe. I think that's the smartest way to book this thing.
Okay, first of all, the media is utterly important. What they're doing is pretty much catapulting who's going to watch on Monday, who's going to watch on Tuesday, who's going to watch next week, and so on. Having said that, Brock Lesnar retaining also brings a lot of media coverage because of the threat of him possibly leaving. And I brought this up. There are in arguably the biggest city in the country next to New York next month. No Mercy, Staples Center. Marquee name, Brock Lesnar. Marquee name, John Cena. And what a way to catapult what typically is a very slow and sluggish post-SummerSlam couple months in September and October. That's why I believe Brock's going to retain. They made the statements 100 times, and I guarantee what's going to indicate this, keep an eye out. If you're listening, listen to this tonight. How many times in the 6 hours they're going to plug the Fatal 4-Way, and they're going to mention if Brock loses, he's gone. If Brock loses, he's gone. To give you, obviously, the casual fan, trying to fool us in a way. Sneaky little tricky rabbits. But no, Brock goes over tonight. I am making that official. I'm putting it on wax, as Jalen Rose would say. So you're going with Samoa Joe then?
Yeah, I'm going Samoa Joe all the way. I think it's time to take the strap off of Brock. I mean, I see the headlines and everything, like you're saying. I mean, it's definitely a possibility. I just think, it's he doesn't need the belt. He just doesn't need it. I don't think they're going to get that big of a headline off of him winning. Him losing it and leaving the WWE is a way bigger headline, because then it sets up, is he potentially going back to UFC? And I mean, WWE, as long as his name is in the news, they don't care if there's rumors of that, whether he's tied to a contract where he can't even do that or whatever, but they want to keep his name in the news. I mean, I think it opens up a whole nother storyline for him if he leaves. So, I mean, that's a headline too, good or bad. They're fine with his name in the headlines and not being around WWE just because of the rumors and everything surrounding him, and they'll bring him back when they're ready to bring him back. So for me, it works either way from a marketing perspective, and I just think it makes sense to take the title off him now, really elevate a guy like Joe coming out of the show to win it at SummerSlam would never be forgotten, and really take him to another level. And I think that's the right way to book it.
Okay, well, you're obviously entitled to your own opinion. I believe Brock Lesnar retains tonight because the entire 4 weeks leading up to No Mercy is someone is going to beat him in Los Angeles. And that carries over to October. So I think beating Brock Lesnar next month will do more for the WWE than someone beating him at SummerSlam. Everyone will be tuning in tomorrow, no matter what happens. People will be tuning in Monday night and Tuesday night to see the fallout of SummerSlam. That's my own opinion. I think Brock retains. They've been indicating way too much. If he loses, he's out. And the casual fans, of course, are thinking he's going to the UFC. Let's go on for another thing that I've been talking about, and you're not a fan of this either, but Jinder Mahal for Shinsuke Nakamura. I love Shinsuke Nakamura. He is arguably one of the best wrestlers in the world today, one of the greatest of all time. Having said that, Jinder Mahal retains tonight in Brooklyn, disappointing a lot of people. And I'll tell you why. And you could obviously have your counterpoint in a second. Jinder Mahal, he put a lot of time, a lot of effort. What he's getting now, had to clear my throat for a second. What Jinder's getting is this unbelievable natural heat. Not cool heel heat, not X-Pac heat, not cheap heat. He's getting legitimate heat every single week. You cannot put a price on that. Why would they lose this heel they've spent 3 months building? If he loses Nakamura, it's just over with Jinder. No offense to Jinder Mahal, but where does he go from there? I don't think people are going to care enough if he goes against someone for the U.S. title or whatever. With Jinder Mahal, they put a lot of money into him. A lot of eyes are on him worldwide, especially with the 1.3 billion people, which I got to get a drop for. The 1.3 billion people. So Jinder goes over against Shinsuke Nakamura tonight because people are thinking they're expecting Shinsuke to win. Shinsuke will not lose. Jinder's not going to win clean, without a doubt. So I expect Corbin, who still has something to prove, but I don't think they're ready to give the strap to Nakamura right now. They've invested too much time, too much effort on Jinder, and even though it's not confirmed, they still are planning this massive Indian tour. So I've said my piece with Jinder Mahal. I'm curious your take on that.
Well, obviously we're not on the same page here.
Shocker. Go ahead.
Nakamura's match.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Nakamura's match. I mean, all summer long, dude, you and I, especially you, have been saying that this is going to be Jinder against Cena, right? And that would have ultimately so if I put Jinder over and to keep him, as the top heel and the title holder, they should have had that match, and they should have had him go over Cena, and it would elevate him to another level. Since that match is not happening, he's not happening. He's not holding the belt after tonight. They put Nakamura specifically in this match because he will win at SummerSlam, and it's going to do the exact same thing that you're talking about, which happened in India. This will go worldwide headlines. Nakamura, new champion, will be huge headline in Japan. And do everything, if not more, probably more than what they did with Jinder winning and the 1.3 billion people in India. For the reason that you're saying that he won and it's been this is now Nakamura's run, where they're going to get all those headlines around the world, and they maybe go back and forth. He could pick up the title and take it back from Nakamura. They are going to take this moment at SummerSlam, and Nakamura is, without a doubt, I am almost 100% on this one. Almost 100%. It's the exact reason that this match is happening, or else we would have seen Cena against Jinder. It's plain and simple. I mean, everybody thought that. They've been up. Just about everybody's been talking about that match happening at SummerSlam, and it's not happening. And the reason it's not happening is because they're ready to put the strap on Nakamura. They're ready for those worldwide headlines. They're ready for Japan to get on board and really get into the WWE. And, no-brainer for me. I think it's been a great run for Jinder, and he's obviously established himself as a heel, but he's established. He's not going to – there's not another level for him. He's a top heel on SmackDown. He's not going to become more of a heel. He's done it. He's there. So he can continue to maintain that momentum, and they can give it to Nakamura and take him up to another level, and those guys can battle for a while or whatever, comes out of it. But to me, this is a no-brainer.
Well, I think they're saving Cena and Jinder at some point. No, I don't believe so. Okay, we could debate about this all day, but it's going to be proven wrong. Jinder is going to retain tonight. You have an unbelievable opportunity to add this heat. Nobody. First of all, I do expect the Maharaja chance.
He's not going to get heat. Do you really think he's going to get heat tonight? I don't think he's going to get a lot of heat in Brooklyn. I mean, they're going to love Nakamura, so maybe, but he's going to have a lot of fans there, too.
He's going to have a lot of fans there.
As far as adding heat, I don't know if that works in Brooklyn, but we'll see, I guess, because there will be a lot of Nakamura fans. But
let me rephrase that. First of all, he's going to get 100% heat. Maybe not inside the Barclay, but you got Joe Casual fan who tunes into this, who's not hardcore, and let's also throw out parents who watch with their kids who are not as smart or not as into it, but they're going to watch it because little Timmy is watching it on the couch. Big shout out to little Timmy and his parents. But I'll tell you what, wait, by the way, Timmy's got a hot mom.
Timmy over.
Yeah, but I'm putting Timmy over. But how about Timmy's hot mom? Okay, well, let's not talk about Timmy's hot aunt, by the way. That's a long story. So when they're watching, they hate Jinder to begin with. So, okay, Barclays is going to show him love, and I hope to God we hear a chance of Maharaja. But everybody who's going to be watching hates Jinder. That's where the heat's going to come from. They're going to hate him as they watch him on the couch. They're going to hate him in the UK, going to hate him in Canada. They're going to hate him in Istanbul. Okay, but actually he's over in Istanbul. That's beside the point. but that's where the heat's going to come from. And, oh, yeah, I'm going to love the Maharaja chants and Jinder chants inside Barclays tonight, but, yeah, we got heels going there. So that's beside the point. I'm excited for it. He's going over. We've talked a little bit too much about Jinder. So we'll stop with Jinder right now. If you guys want to chime in, Coder is joining us for the code break. It's 844-627-3352. It's a special wrestling morning show, SummerSlam edition. We're doing this in the afternoon to grab your attention, kind of reintroduce ourselves to you guys who don't have an opportunity to listen in the morning, and especially people overseas and around the world. Don't know what you guys do at 9 a.m. Eastern. It's States time, but hopefully you're listening now and hopefully you're listening into the future. And, of course, this goes to podcast form everywhere. I'm sick of telling everybody where it's going to. It's literally everywhere. I guarantee on your phone, on your computer, you have at least one application, one site that you can listen to the show. We're everywhere once the show goes off the air. Okay, I'm looking at this card right now. Cesaro, Sheamus, Dean, and Seth. I think this has been finally a very good build-up. Excited about that. We have Cena, Corbin, Finn, Bray, Big Show, Big Cass, Orton, Rusev, Alexa, Sasha, Naomi, Natalya, and that's obviously the main shows going on. You can take any match you want to talk about. I'm going to give you this opportunity, and not only am I going to give you this opportunity, let me find it real quick. Here we go. You got to pick a match.
Let's go with Big Cass and the Big Show for 100.
Okay, we're now playing Big Cass and Big Show for 100. First of all, this is probably, out of all the matches I want you to pick, probably get careless about this one. I have fatigue when it comes to Enzo Amore. I have fatigue with Big Show. I have fatigue with Big Cass, even though last week I thought Big Cass, as he's getting booed out of the building, by the way, I applaud that. Don't get me wrong. Best promo of his entire career. It was real. It felt real. But I'm getting fatigued with this entire thing. And go ahead. Talk about this match. Since out of all these horrible matches, out of all these great matches, you picked the worst one. Go ahead.
Well, I figure we're going to talk about them all, so we might as well get this one over, right? So, I got Big Cass in this one. I think he needs it. This will put him over. He's got tremendous heat right now. I mean,
yeah.
we can say what we want about how it's played out. It has gotten a little tired, but nobody is getting more heat right now than Big Cass. I mean, last night the crowd, or last week, the crowd was on fire when he was giving his promo. I mean, he's getting a ton of heat. And it all happened pretty quickly. So, and this will only further that. He's definitely, without a doubt, I think going over in this match. But, we've got Enzo hanging in a cage above the match. So what goes down there? How does he get involved? Does he drop some brass knuckles to the Big Show and the Big Show ends up knocking out Big Cass? Or does he steal the knuckles and then hits Big Show? I mean, there's that factor, which I like. So this match is new to me. It's not the same old tired stuff that we've been seeing week to week over the last month since the split between Enzo and Big Cass. So I like that element of it. Should make it interesting. I thought the match, I don't know if Jericho invented this match, or I know he invents like all these stipulation matches or has a history of doing that. And obviously he was in the first cage above the ring type of match, with was it KO and
KO?
Well,
yeah, I think it was KO and AJ. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I know KO was in there because it was their best friends, but yeah.
Right. That was the point of him being in the cage, so that he couldn't help out KO, So I guess this is only the second time this has happened. I don't remember it happening before Jericho was in the cage or whatever, but that was a good match, and there was always that factor of what's going to happen with Jericho, and he's hanging above the ring. So I think it'll be good. It'll be interesting, maybe better than some expect. Maybe it will exceed expectations, but I certainly expect to see Big Cass here with the win.
Yeah, I can only imagine that. I mean, why even do this? There's no point for Big Show to win. God bless him. There's no point. Maybe take a risk and say that Enzo gets booed out of the building, or no?
Ooh, I don't know if that's even a risk. Yeah, that could definitely happen. But, you figure they got to love him. I mean,
he's from there.
Home, but, they got the Cass, too, so I don't know.
Well, okay. I tell you what, since you've been doing a very good job at these, let's go ahead. And the next match you want to discuss, Coder?
Let's go with Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt for 500.
All right, we got Finn and Bray for 500. By the way, it's the last time I'm doing the prize wheel. It's starting to get annoying. I tell you what.
So you owe me $100, right?
Yeah.
For the first one. And
Okay.
If I get this one right, it's 5. Or
okay, that's enough. So, actually, yeah, you know what? We should do that. We should we should create a game for everybody out there. Somehow, you know what? We got to do that. We got to create a game for money wise and predictions on something like that. But let's go back and remember how this whole started. First of all, when Bray Wyatt starts a feud, he just pops up. There's no reason. He just pops up. That's Bray Wyatt. Just pops up. And Finn really wasn't doing much. I think his last great feud was back-to-back matches with Elias Sampson at the point. Or sorry, now it's just Elias. Or hashtag walk with. But so now we got Finn and Bray. And after a big beatdown and then the whole Carrie scene from the movie Carrie, gets doused with his blood-like material, which I don't think they even mentioned it was blood. And Finn says, Bray's got his demons, but so do I. And so now we know it's confirmed. The demon is back versus Bray Wyatt. Normally, with Finn being this demon, Bray Wyatt has a lot of love from a lot of people. And it's often criticized that Bray loses a lot. So I don't know where to go. This is a tough one. I mean, is it the same old shit? Bray Wyatt loses again to the demon? Give me some input. I have no idea. I know I'm excited for it. Win or lose doesn't help or hurt.
Dude, this is Finn Balor all the way. I mean, 100%. This might be the match. If I could put it all in a match, it's this one. Finn Balor will win tonight, without a doubt. You don't have the demon returned, and it's been over a year. It's been a long time since we've seen the demon. Right. I mean, some fans, casual fans, may have forgot the demon was even existed. This is another character. He essentially has, the Finn Balor character, and then he has the demon. And if the demon comes out tonight, which we fully expect to see, and loses, the demon is buried. It doesn't. Nothing happens. He loses credibility as the demon. He loses he loses it. He loses that character. Loses a lot, and so this is a no-brainer for me. Again, I think this is just 100%. Balor will go over in this match. You got to put the demon over. It will establish that secondary character of his to just be a badass, where you can expect, a win when the demon is called upon. So I think they have to do it that way. It sucks for Wyatt. I'm a huge fan. I like both of these guys, but I'm a big Bray Wyatt fan. And of course, I love seeing him get wins, and it doesn't happen that often. But this is another case where I think he loses simply to put over the demon character because it's got to be done.
All right, so Bray's doing the ultimate job, in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, he's got this. This is a feud that should continue. I mean, I don't think this is the end of it at this match. So Demon comes out, and then it gets better from there. So yeah, I mean, he does the job here, but it doesn't mean he doesn't get his win back on Monday night or whenever.
Oh, poor Bray. I have to research this. We got to go back and just really view Bray's entire pay-per-view record. I'm curious. Everybody knows it. Call or text. It seems like he's doing the job all the time. Okay, there is one match I want to talk about, and one match that I'm extremely excited about. Of course, AJ Styles and Kevin Owens, two of our favorites. United States Championship. It's on the line. Shane O'Mac, special guest referee, just adds another element to this. In the past, we have seen AJ and Kevin Owens kind of go back and forth. Shane gives that little extra excitement. AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, all indications. First of all, they're going to beat the hell out of each other. But more importantly, it's going to set up Kevin Owens, Shane O'Mac in some sort of feud, possibly leading to the next pay-per-view. Would you agree upon this?
Yeah, I think I'm with you there. I think we see AJ retain. I think KO and Shane or Mac end up in some type of feud that would set up a future match with them, because Shane's going to be involved. There's no other point to have him in this match as a special guest referee unless he's going to get involved in some way. He'll probably end up screwing over Kevin Owens and then begin a feud with him, which I think will be great. I think Kevin Owens against the Authority type of figure angle is always good, and it'll be good with him and Shane. I think him, playing his, the agitator and, it's unfair and, these sort of things is right in his wheelhouse. I mean, he does it really well, and I totally expect to see that.
This could be a completely new level for Kevin Owens. I mean, first of all, toe-to-toe on the microphone, he destroys everybody, especially with Shane lately being a little timid on that microphone. But even though Shane's getting up there in age, don't let anyone fool you. Guy trains every day, and he's a beast. Starting to become the same size as his father back in the day. I'm just excited for this. I'm not even going to put a prediction on it. I could care less. I'm happy to see two of my favorites and see where this goes from here. It would be kind of cool if not only Kevin Owens gets into it with Shane O'Mac, which 100% is going to happen tonight, but the next leg of the AJ Styles saga would start tonight as well. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Somebody calling him out, somebody coming out there, anything. But we're talking about two of the favorites for everybody. Mostly love on both sides. Randy and Rusev, can we skip that? Can we just not talk about it? I don't want to talk about it. I love both these guys, to be honest.
Rusev in that one for sure.
Rusev
is going over in that match, and there's nothing else to talk about.
This is going to be about 8 minutes. So, okay, one thing that strikes me, I'm interested in this. Miss Natalia versus Naomi. I'm a huge fan of Naomi. I consider her and Charlotte two very best on the roster, as I just alienated every Bayley and Sasha fan out there. But no, they're on a different brand, so we can talk about that. Of course, I don't think we're going to see Charlotte tonight. If she does, the pop is going to be enormous, as pretty much 16,000 people in Brooklyn and around the world watching, kind of saying, we love your father. Hope he's doing okay, but I don't know if we'll see her tonight. Naomi, Natalia, tonight, SmackDown Women's Championship. We're going to see a couple things. We're going to see, there's only three possible options, really. Naomi wins, Natalia wins, and there's a cash-in. I think Naomi goes over, and I think this marketing aspect of Naomi is getting bigger and bigger. I think it's going to be a matter of seconds before they're going to come out with a title for girls that glow in the dark. Natalia, I mean, she is probably the longest mainstay on any roster, with the exception of Nikki Bella. I don't think it's her time. I could also see possibly the cash-in tonight. I think it's going to be pretty good. I think the crowd's going to love it as well.
Yeah, I think I think you're right when it comes to Naomi. The marketing potential with her gimmick, and just the fact that she really hasn't had that strong of a feud since she's been champion, because it seems like she's always waiting for a challenger. They've had, obviously with the Money in the Bank and these, different number one contender battles and stuff. And so she hasn't really been the highlight of that division. It's been all the stuff happening underneath her to, then lead to ultimately a match with her. And so I still think it's not time for her to lose the title. We're probably going to see Carmella. She may come in and attempt to cash in or tease it. I could see that. I think that's a possibility that she comes out there and teases that she might, but ultimately doesn't. I could totally see that, just to get the pop from the crowd, to get the, people psyched up about it. But I think the right move here is to keep the strap on Naomi for all the marketing reasons, for the fact that she really hasn't been in a very strong feud as she's been champion, to really establish her. And she's good. She's great in the ring. She's pretty good on the mic and very popular with the kids. I mean, she's got a lot of things going for her, a lot of momentum right now. And yeah, I just don't see him taking the strap off of her right now. I think it would be a mistake for Carmella to cash in right now. Now it's coming out and teasing. That's a different thing, and I definitely think we'll see that. But I don't think we'll see her actually cash it in or win if she does.
First of all, Jerry Lewis died today. That kind of sucks. As I'm looking over Twitter, Dick Gregory died
right after Great Balls of Fire, man.
Yeah. No.
After his pay-per-view.
Sorry. Jerry Lewis, the comedian, not Jerry Lee Lewis.
Oh, okay. Man.
Yeah, the actor.
He's already dead, isn't he?
No. No. Okay. Let's just move on. We don't want to piss off anybody here. Okay, a couple things I want to talk about. First of all, picture this. This is just one of those dream delusional scenarios. Carmella comes out. Ellsworth interferes. And I'm just saying, how enormous would the pop be if we saw Charlotte help Naomi? It'd be insane.
Yeah.
Literally, I mean.
I gotta imagine she's at her dad's side. It sounds, he's still in the hospital.
Well, yeah, recovering. But this is also.
Then again, her dad would probably want her there.
100%.
He wouldn't want her to miss. He wouldn't want her to miss SummerSlam.
100%. I mean, this crowd. I mean, literally. I mean, because they got some money there. They fly her in. Literally now, she does the gig and flies out in the morning. I mean, if Rick would do it. We still don't know 100%. There's so many conflicting stories about Ric Flair, the greatest of all time. The initial report was the heart. Now it's the colon. But he's doing better and he's resting. That was reports from Melinda, his manager, that's been on Twitter. Let's go ahead and move on. Okay, one match that I'm utterly excited about. Cesaro, Sheamus, Dean, and Seth. So this bromance really came into fruition this past week with Dean and Seth and the official Shield fist, the pound. Oh, my God, what's going to happen? I mean, the women online, by the way, are in love with this storyline and how these friends need to get back together. But let's not forget, Sheamus and Cesaro, they've been kind of lost in the shuffle. I mean, they had a 3-month feud earlier in the season with the Hardy Boys, and now they're going up against Dean and Seth. There's a lot of different directions this could go in Brooklyn. We could see new champions. We could see Sheamus and Cesaro retaining. We could see Dean and Seth entering a new feud. No matter what, we got 4 of the very best in wrestling going at each other. And I also would not be surprised if they maybe open up the show with these guys. I don't know. They may want to save it. Who knows? But give me your thoughts about Cesaro, Sheamus, Dino, and Seth.
Well, I think it's going to be a great match for just what you outlined. I mean, we got 4 great performers in the ring. This whole bromance thing has been a little bit played out, but obviously they're on the same page now. I honestly think we're going to see new champions. I wasn't sure at first, but I'm feeling like we're going to see new champions. I could definitely see a run here with Seth and Dean. They've built this up for a reason. They've dragged it on for a reason, and the women are going crazy online for a reason. They want to see it happen. These guys, Dean and Seth, don't really have anything else going on unless they end up in a feud with each other. We've seen that, So I think another run as the mini Shield, that's what I've been calling them, the mini Shield, will
2
be
out of
the
3s.
Tag team champions tonight.
Really?
And I'd love to see them feud with Shane and Cesaro for, a month or 2. I think that would be a great match to see repeatedly. So they win the titles tonight and go on a run here for the next month or so. And maybe they ultimately end up breaking up. But what's the point of putting them back together if they're not going to put the titles on them? So I got them all the way in this one. The mini Shield, new champions.
Okay, well, we can hashtag that mini Shield. But no, first of all, they put the Dean and Seth together because they have nothing else to do. They have nothing. I don't think they really thought about this too much. It's my own thought and opinion. Don't crucify me if you're listening to the show. Speaking of which, it's 3:04 Eastern Standard Time. The number is 844-627-3352. You call or text. I'm joined by Coder. It's time for the Code Break. We do the segments on Monday and Tuesday when we normally have our show in the morning. You could follow Coder at CodeRock874 on Twitter. That's CodeRock874. He's an interesting fellow. Okay, let's talk about some other matches. We'll go now with big match John Cena and Baron Corbin. I love Big Match John.
Okay.
I love Big Match John. I used to love Baron Corbin. And the sentiment this entire week building up. Now, first of all, SmackDown did not have the greatest go-home show in the world, to be honest with you. And lately, they sometimes have been failing on go-home shows continually in the WWE. But Baron Corbin, the entire theme of the week leading up to today is Baron Corbin fucked up. And I don't try to curse on the show because, I'm not trying to pop anybody, but I will in this circumstance. Baron Corbin fucked up. Why do you think the brass of WWE said, you know what, Corbin, it's not your time right now to cash it in? Why did they do that? Did they want people talking about it? I assume they want people watching. I also had this debate online, the controversy. First of all, people mentioned where his foot was. Also, they mentioned that John Cena possibly interfered when the match started and possibly that his shoulder could have been up in the pin. I think they would have made an announcement at some point that he would have an opportunity again at getting his cash in back. John Cena, Baron Corbin. Is this simply Cena putting Corbin over tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I could care. I could care less about this match. Obviously, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of Corbin. I have respect for Cena, but just don't care. And I prefer to see him lose. It's, he's at the point in his career. He's in this match. This match is created to put Corbin over. Now, since, I thought that 100% 2 weeks ago. But now after Corbin loses, the case is like, has he really fallen this far out of favor with the people in the back? Did he really piss somebody off to the point where, he doesn't get the win tonight? Because, that was devastating to cash in and lose. I don't think it did a lot for this match. Does it make me care anymore? It makes me care actually less about this match now that it doesn't even have the case, A win tonight over Cena with the case in hand, and the potential to cash it in later that night, I think is lost now. We said it when we talked on Wednesday morning. This was I just don't understand the booking. It makes absolutely no sense from any perspective for anybody involved. It doesn't help anybody. So I don't know why it went down other than he pissed somebody off. And if he pissed somebody off, we'll see how pissed they are tonight, because if Cena goes over, he's done. He's going to be he's going to have a long road to haul to get back to where he was. They've been doing nothing but investing in Corbin and building him up, and then he gets the case and chokes. It makes no sense. And now, to lose it to Cena would just be absolutely devastating. And for that reason, I'm rooting for Cena.
Oh, wow. Well,
Yeah.
You really, you hate Baron
That's
Corbin.
how much I don't like Corbin. I
Wow.
just don't like it. I don't believe in it. He's gotten too many chances. The only time I was ever even interested is the times he's been on Talking Smack, and I think he's been horrible on television. He's inconsistent. He's not that great of a wrestler. He's skinny, fat, dumpster fire.
Oh, my God.
And I'm over it. Yeah, that's what people are saying.
Okay, so Coder just is getting evil on the show right now. First of all, it's going to be awesome to see.
I'm just being real.
No, I appreciate
That's
it.
really how I feel about this guy. It gets old, man.
I don't think he's going to get a good reception at all. And Cena, of course, is going to get the Cena reception in Brooklyn. And there's probably more people that hate Corbin than Cena, the hardcore fans out there. But it's always great to see Big Match John. You know what? First of all, and I've said this on the show, I love John Cena. Mostly because everyone else hates him. And he'll someday, with all the deep voices out there, a lot of people chant Cena sucks because it's fun. I really do believe that. And there's just a lot of people who hate him. But no matter what, if I was going to an event and Cena was supposed to be there and he got injured or he couldn't make it or got off the brand, I'd be pissed. So, by the way, he's with one of the hottest girls in the country. He's a success. He's funny. And also, he's a 16-time.
Girls in the country? Really?
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. First of all, one of the hottest girls on any roster. Can we say that? You're not a fan of Nikki Bella?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bigger fan of Brie, I would say, actually. Yeah. I think Brie is the better looking of the two, smarter of the two.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not the best wrestler of the two, but yeah. I think Nikki's just way too fake, man. It's not my type, bro.
Okay, well, we're just talking about John Cena. Compared to the rest of the roster, the females, first of all, we don't knock John Cena's girl on this show, okay? Anybody else? You want to knock Big Cass's girl, Carmella, that's fine. Okay, you want to knock Jinder's girl, which we don't know who that is, but regardless, we're not knocking John Cena's girl, okay? I don't care if you're Dolph Ziggler. We're not knocking her. Okay.
He was knocking her.
Ooh. I have like 10,000 drops on here and not one rim shot of a drum, which I got to get next. But anyway, sometimes I'll just go through my random drops. That's one of my favorites. And a lot of times I use on you. So,
yeah, I've heard that one a few times.
Yeah. Okay, but it's going to be good to see John. This match is going to last 8 minutes, but let me throw one last thing. And by the way, can't believe we're talking this long about Cena and Corbin because we could care less about this match as much as I love Mr. Cena. One thing is, Cena beats the shit out of Baron Corbin. What would Baron Corbin do after having a disastrous week? You just lost the cash-in. You just lost to John Cena, and this is going to be early. And then there's a Jinder and Shinsuke match coming up. That's how Jinder is going to retain. That's how I thought about it this entire time. He is going to...
So he's going to come out angry and screw over...
Yes, because he still has a feud with Shinsuke. He's going to take it out. And Jinder retains.
Then you've got Nakamura winning. He's going to screw Jinder, and Nakamura wins.
No. He's going to beat up Shinsuke somehow, some way.
Why?
Because it's added heat for Baron.
Why would he beat up Jinder?
Because he doesn't have a problem with Jinder.
I mean, he just lost his cash in against him.
But okay, that's just part of the rules. He's the champion. But the problem he's had for the duration of the last 4 or 5 weeks has been against Shinsuke. Or even if he hated Jinder, Jinder's the champion. Oh, you know what? I don't want Shinsuke to win. I still have beef against Jinder. Baron Corbin will be somehow affecting this match tonight. And I guarantee if we listen back to this show tomorrow, I will be right. Or if history repeats itself, I'm wrong, as I always do. I think outside the box, that's what's going to happen. I've said this. I'm not going to change my mind. Jinder goes over tonight.
You're really confident, and this is a match that you didn't even have predicted happening. This is supposed to be Cena against Jinder all summer long.
Well, none of it. Yeah,
you're this confident? I don't know, man.
First of all, I'm very surprised. Yeah, this was something we talked about as soon as Jinder got the strap. And when they announced that he was going to be on, Cena was going to be on SmackDown, he's a free agent. I said, okay, this is it. This is SummerSlam. This is Jinder versus, and we talked about it every day. And we were completely wrong about that. But guess what? We're switching in a different direction now because this is what presents itself. Jinder, Nakamura. I could be 100% wrong, but that's just an idea. I like to play out some of these thoughts. Jinder retains because they put so much time, so much effort on Jinder Mahal. And everybody remember, Timmy's hot mom, and Timmy's stepdad, Scott, they're all going to be on the couch. See, this is what we do. We pop each other. We don't have to curse. Okay. So they're all on the couch. They're hating Jinder. It's just added heat, man. I'm telling you, Corbin, they have not given up on this kid yet. And you know why? You could tell a little indication out there because I got too much time on my hands. When you got more than 4 items on the WWE shop, they've invested time with you. Baron Corbin's got more than 4 items. So there you go. He's not in the doghouse. All right, we got to move on. It's the Wrestling Morning Show, but it's our afternoon SummerSlam special. If you're in the UK, I think it's about maybe 9 o'clock at night. A lot of you guys are definitely staying up to watch this. Or you guys went to bed early. I don't know. Everybody in the West Coast, hello. Some of you guys are just getting up. Of course, the faithful Midwest, and the entire world listening. If you are listening, I'm here with Coder. You can follow him at Code Rock 874. Call the show 844-627-3352. Out of all these matches I look at, 13 matches. The one I'm interested as a fan to watch because I love the evolution of the Usos. And then I think there's some fatigue with the New Day. Do we see the titles change hands in this match?
No.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, again, maybe I would have said maybe if it was on the regular show, but now that it's been put on the pre-show, I don't think we're going to see the titles change hands on a pre-show match for the tag team title, and they're going to build it up and then put it on the pre-show where you only have half the audience. Just don't see it happening. I don't see any titles changing hands on a pre-show. I also see Tozawa going over into his match as well.
Okay. First, I agree with you, but then let me take the devil's advocate side of this. 2 title events in 2 hours for the pre-show. Much like AJ Styles winning at a house show. Could this be the one time where a title changes and it won't be the tag team? Could be Tozawa and Neville. Oh, man, I got to watch the pre-show from now on because there is a title change. Of course, the Cruiserweight, no one's going to care as much as the tag titles. I'm excited about this. I love the Usos. You know, I love what they've evolved to. I love the heel turn down since day one-ish. But I have to agree with you. The New Day goes over, but I'm hoping and praying that the feud between these two are not over because even though it kind of dwindled a little bit, 2 things. One, that rap battle was awesome, and they actually had the balls to do it, which was awesome. And number 2, we saw a side of New Day we don't ever see when they came out with those red sweatpants, and then they came out with chairs, and they're ready to fight. It was great to see that. So I have to agree with you. I'm excited about this match. Hardy Boys, Jason Jordan, just excited for the Hardy Boys to be there to get that Brooklyn love. Excited to see the reaction for Jordan. Of course, we both love The Miz. But other than that, this is fill some time type of matchup. Let's get some superstars in there. You think anything will come out of this Hardy's, Jordan, and the Mr. Rush at all besides let's fill some time?
No, this was totally the way to get, more people involved in the pay-per-view. I don't understand the grouping of the Hardy Boys and Jason Jordan. I would have much rather seen The Miz one-on-one for the title with Jason Jordan. I think that's the way to book that with the angle and storyline, maybe of the summer with Kurt Angle being his father. I don't know why we got this booking, but I assume that it's to get more people involved. And I think really, the Miz Taraj is fairly new. Obviously, Jason Jordan's character evolved, greatly over the last few months. And so this is a way to get everybody involved in a match. I don't expect anything big to happen here. I could see the Miz cheating and winning. I would probably go with the Miz Taraj here for the victory. Just brings them more heat as a faction. And I don't think it does anything to hurt the other guys involved. One thing that surprises me, though, is that they're going all in, really, with Jordan as a face.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this a lot, the Rocky Maivia, syndrome, or whatever you want to call it, that is really a strong potential for him right now. And I just feel like, by pairing him with the Hardys, he gets the rub because they're over as faces big time. So they maybe did that to avoid the boos. They put him on the pre-show to avoid the boos in front of the casual fans, right? And, this is all an attempt to keep him as a face in my mind. That's why we got the pairing, and that's why we got them on the pre-show, and that's why I think we're going to see Miz go over here to bring heat to the Miz, and maybe this feud continues for a while or whatever. But the Miz is the most over heel. He gets legit heat wherever he goes, night in, night out, consistently. What better way to make him a face and put him against, one of your best heels or the best heel. So that in my mind is what's happening. I'm not sure it's going to ultimately work. I think I'm with you, and we're going to ultimately see this Rocky Maivia syndrome play out, and he's going to be forced to be a heel at some point. And I think that'd be great for him, actually. Obviously, it worked out for The Rock. I don't think he has the charisma and obviously carries the weight of somebody like The Rock. But if you remember, The Rock was cheesy when he first started. Rocky Maivia was cheesy.
Oh, horrible.
So he really evolved from there. Him becoming a heel was the greatest thing that ever happened in his career. It's what ultimately led to him making $20 million a movie or whatever he's making now. Because if he hadn't gotten over and they would have forced that Rocky Maivia character for years, he would never be The Rock. So this could be down the road here when we do see this heel turn for Jordan. If they're able to get him over as a face, it would be even bigger. But I don't think that's going to happen. But I'm really intrigued by the whole Jason Jordan angle. I've been on board since the beginning. I think we're going to see him as a future champion if this is done right. And I think they're really, really pushing him as a face right now, and that's why we're getting the pre-show match, and that's why we're getting the rub from the Hardys as his partners.
Interesting. Now, one thing I got to say, you know who my all-time favorite wrestler is, right?
Oh,
come on.
No.
Ric Flair. He's my all-time favorite. If I had to have a top 5, first of all, Ric Flair is number 1, and he will never change till the day I die. Now, 2 to 5.
That would have been my guess. I just thought it was too obvious.
No, just first of all, if it was a tough question, I'm not going to put you on a spot. That's why I did that. I said it's like asking you my favorite baseball team. Anyway, so little inside joke between me and Coder. But anyway, probably between 2 and 5. That sometimes changes. There's some guys now that I would put up there, and definitely Punk is in there between 2 and 5. But maybe 2 or 3 was heel Rock. There was nothing better to watch that marinate from the Nation of Domination and then marinate into the corporate champion. It was unbelievable to see that go from the Nation to that heel to the corporate champion to the face. It was priceless. Watching great history. All right, let's move on and let's talk about so proud of this girl, to be honest. One of the best in the game today. Alexa Bliss, she's taking on Sasha Banks. Obviously, Sasha is in there. Those weren't really the plans. It was going to be Bayley versus Alexa for the Raw's Woman Championship. I experienced, and of course, I'm going to have people just hating me right now. But I'm going to say this. Don't get upset. This is just my own opinion. I have Sasha and Bayley fatigue. Can you blame me? I have Sasha and Bayley fatigue. But you know what I love? I love Alexa Bliss. And for one main reason. This girl was an afterthought in NXT. She was an afterthought when they brought her up to SmackDown. And they said, here's a microphone. And she got over. And no one expected it. And now she's killing it. And more importantly, not since AJ Lee have bad girl wrestling fans found a hero. There you go. It's Alexa Bliss. I think Alexa retains. And not only that, we might see Nia Jax just beat up Sasha. That's what I think. And I want to. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm with you here. I'm with you here. Alexa, I think all the way in this match. I mean, Sasha wasn't even supposed to be in this match.
Right.
Bayley was, and she got hurt, obviously. So all the more reason that we'll see Alexa go over and continue her reign. I mean, we're talking about the Rookie of the Year.
Oh,
we're
yeah.
talking about the Rookie of the Year. If there's a Slammy for it or whatever, she's got it. She's had it wrapped up for months. Okay, so they should continue. They should roll with it. She is a huge star. She's great on the mic. She's pretty good in the ring and getting better, and just has a personality that you can't ignore. Good, bad, whatever she wants to be, she's always going to be over. I think she's everything a women's wrestler needs to be, and she's really, I mean, made it her own. And I can't see him taking the belt off her at this point. I'm a huge Sasha Banks fan. Love Sasha Banks. And but I actually like her better as a heel. I would love to see some sort of heel turn come out of this. I don't think we're going to see that, but I am a fan, and she's I think better in the ring than Alexa.
Oh, of course.
Good on the mic.
Of course.
So I got Alexa in this one all the way, man.
Yeah, I do too. And I think if they're going to try to save the reputation of Sasha, I think we may see Nia Jax help her out or something so that we don't lose credibility with Sasha Banks. But yeah, Alexa should win this one. And actually, I'm going to put a question on Twitter. It's been the summer of who? And I mean, we thought it could be Braun, it could be Jinder. I mean, it could definitely be
Joe.
It could be Joe, it could be Alexa. I mean, those would be the four right now. Okay, a couple things to talk about. And first of all, I thank you, Coder, taking this time. I know you're itching for a cigarette. We'll be done soon. Undertaker was on a flight supposedly going to New York. That's not 100% confirmed. We just know that Undertaker, and I posted it up on Twitter, we just know that he was on a flight. And by all reports, it was headed to New York. Yeah, we don't know.
Wow.
Yeah. So
wow, that is breaking news, dude. I mean,
well,
is this a exclusive?
No, this was.
When did we learn this?
Well, as soon as I learned it, I posted it on August 18th, but we haven't really talked much since then. I also maybe.
Well, does he get involved in the Fatal 4-Way? Does he screw over Reigns?
I probably, you know what? I probably, I don't know why we didn't bring this up. Probably because I wanted to be proven correct that Brock retains. But yeah. So imagine the Fatal 4-Way. All eyes will be on that match. And then ding. And fade to black. Place would just go nuts. Well, actually, how cool would it be? All four men are in each corner, kind of. Undertaker smack dab in the middle. He looks at all of them. And we know Undertaker's going to go after somebody. God, the place would explode. The roof would explode if he goes after Roman. So, and if anybody, it's going to be Roman. He's not going to go against Brock. He's not going to go against Samoa Joe. There's no need. And I don't think he's in shape to go against Braun. And what a reception Braun's going to have. Okay, my friend. Now there's a couple things that we have to do right now. And then, of course, I've been all over Twitter the last couple of days, just like a weirdo, I guess. Okay, so I got some Twitter poll questions for you before we let you go. I'm talking to Coder. It's the Code Break. You can play along with this if you're listening as well. All right, so some of the questions that I asked this past week, and some of these questions are actually still going on, and they have not closed yet. I'm trying to do it for at least 24 hours. Not your favorite. Not the best, but who is the most important figure to their brand's success? Bobby Roode, NXT. AJ Styles, SmackDown Live. Kenny Omega, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Or Cody Rhodes, Ring of Honor.
I'm going to go with AJ here, man. I mean, you're talking about one of the premier names worldwide. He brings a lot of eyeballs to SmackDown. He has become that brand. He's almost iconic with the SmackDown brand. Not that the others aren't necessarily, but AJ's on a different level than those guys. So I'm going to go with AJ on this one.
Well, 43% of the world agrees with you. Kenny Omega with 30%. So, good job, Coder. And by the way, you do know that all three members of the 3MB have been champions this year, and 2 are current champions. Okay, so we now ask the next question for you. Against the odd makers. This is against all odds makers. What would surprise you the most? Jinder retains, Brock retains, Carmella cashes in, or Bobby Roode on Raw or SmackDown? What would surprise you the most?
I mean, I think Jinder retaining would be a surprise to me. I just really feel like they set this up for Nakamura. It was supposed to be Jinder and Cena, and it's Nakamura. And the reason why is because he's taken the title tonight. It will be just an enormous pop that will be heard around the world after the close of SummerSlam tonight. It'll be all over the headlines in Japan and around the world. And for that reason, I totally expect him to win. So I would be most surprised if Jinder retains tonight.
Okay. 37% said Jinder, and also a tie, 37%. Bobby Roode will appear on Raw or SmackDown. Okay, let's see. Oh, this is one of my favorite questions I asked last night. Obviously, Adam Cole shows up to take over last night. Place, it just explodes, but it was like a horrible secret. Who is your all-time favorite Ring of Honor alumni? I know your answer already, but who is your all-time favorite Ring of Honor alumni? Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, Kevin Owens, or AJ Styles?
Well, I love them all.
Yep.
But it's KO for me, man. That's my boy right there, Kevin Owens.
You know what I should have done? I was so stupid. I probably should have used his name in Ring of Honor, said Kevin Steen. And, of course, nobody would probably get it from the casual fans. So it was Daniel Bryan, Punk, Owens, AJ, and AJ, 32%, Punk, 29, Kevin Owens, 25, Daniel Bryan, 14. Interesting.
Well, you would go with Bryan Danielson, too, then. You just have to change up everybody.
Yeah, okay. Thanks.
Well.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Thanks, bud. Yeah. We're going to call AJ Adam now? How about Phil Brooks? Yeah, I follow wrestling too, Coder. Thank you. Okay.
Well, if you're going to change one, you got to change them all.
You trying to bury me on my own show. All right. Thanks a lot. Moving on to the next question. I would love to see this person in any capacity at SummerSlam tonight. Options. Elias addresses the Brooklyn crowd. Breezango or the Fashion Files. Somebody from NXT gets called up, or Carmella cashes in. What would you love to see out of those four options?
Breezango, man. It's got to happen. Breezango. I mean, it's been the build of the summer with these, the Fashion Files has just been great, and they deserve it. We haven't seen them in the ring in forever. What needs to happen with Fashion Files is it needs to start leading to ring action. It's super weird that we haven't seen them in the ring for a long time. So I think they'd get an enormous pop, obviously. I mean, huge. Maybe the biggest of the night if they come out there in Brooklyn.
Well, they're going to need...
maybe not the biggest of the night, but it would be big. So I'd love to see that.
Well, I don't think there's going to be squash matches per se, because nothing on here says squash. But to fill some time and get the crowd kind of at a certain temperament, we're going to see Elias at one point. I think we'll see Breezango at one point. We'll just see some stuff to kind of cool down the crowd. Well, I tell you what, the people around the world, they would like to see an NXT call-up. 38%, 31% Breezango and the Fashion Files. And the last on the list was actually the Carmella cash-in, which out of anything, that might be, no, I think we'd probably see Elias or Breezango. I always ask you this question. It's not on the Twitter poll. But before you head off, I want to say thank you to you. This is the Code Break with Brent Coder. And, of course, you can follow him at CodeRock874. Coder, tomorrow, what will we talk about the most from SummerSlam?
I think we're going to talk about new champions. I think we're going to talk
No, one thing, my friend. One thing. The one thing we'll be talking.
I'll go with Nakamura here. I think that's going to be the headline worldwide tomorrow. In Japan and all over. It's a big deal. And that's what everybody will be talking about worldwide.
Thank you, Coder, for proving my point that I will not attack anybody for any type of uneducated opinion on this program.
Hey, a lot of people are with me on this one.
Actually, yes, I will give you that. I will give you that. And by the way, I love Nakamura, one of my favorites and one of the very best in this business. I just don't think it's going to happen tonight. But you know why?
You're a Maharaja mark. You're a total mark for the Maharaja. I get it. He can do no wrong. But tonight he's done.
Why I love the Maharaja so much is this is Jinder Mahal. The man was in enhancement matches. And then, oh, by the way, he's now our champion. And he's running with it. And he's creating so much heat. It's so outlandish. I love it. That's why I love the Maharaja. That anything could happen in this world that we love, the WWE. Coder, my friend, thank you so much. And I know you got to prep and probably get some snacks and whatnot. Do you know what you're going to eat today?
Yeah, I got to go.
What do you
eat? A lot of beer.
Okay, eat a lot of beer. That's good.
Now and put that on ice.
Yeah.
And we're talking about moving the TV outside. You're welcome to come over, by the way. We can talk after the show. But going to put some, meat on the grill.
Oh,
bring the
nice.
TV outside and do it right. Yeah, man. It's a big day. Big day.
Awesome.
Second best day of the year. Or third, maybe the third best day. Okay, we'll go Monday after,
Well, I'm a mark for that. You know that.
Yeah. So third best day of the year. Still not bad.
It's the Code Break with Brent Coder.
So, Coder, thank you so much. Follow Coder at CodeRock874. CodeRock874. All right, we're going to take a small commercial, and we will be right back. Yeah, we'll be right back. By the way, this is what I want you guys to do. I want you to call in if you want. Number's 844-627-3352, or you can just text me at the same number. We'll be right back. It's the very special SummerSlam show here at the Wrestling Morning Show. Okay, so we're back. It's the special edition of the Wrestling Morning Show, SummerSlam edition. The last hour, Coder has been on the show, and I can't thank him enough. Code Rock 874. Follow him on Twitter. We're actually minutes away from the kickoff of SummerSlam, so we're going to probably end the show very soon, give you guys enough time to do whatever you're doing if you're listening. Now, a couple things I do want to say for anyone who is listening out there. We do this show for you guys. It's not a cliche, but honestly, there's a void where you could go and you could listen to somewhat intelligent conversation in the morning. We're talking about wrestling. And that's kind of what we do here. We do the show every Tuesday and every Wednesday. And we're happy to do it. And you guys obviously call or chime in. The number is the same, 844-627-3352. Now, if you don't know who this is Mardel. I'm your host. I've been your host since day one-ish. That was cheesy, but still, I've been your host since day one-ish. Every Tuesday, every Wednesday in the morning. And we're getting more and more fans on Twitter, which is awesome. And, it's really, there are no rules. We'll talk about whatever. We'd like to break some stories and talk about developing stories and talk about storylines and play some games and actually have fun. And use our brain a little bit. And now, first of all, I sometimes criticize maybe some of the other podcasts and shows out there. It's very hard to do a show about wrestling. A podcast for an hour or a live show for 2 hours, like yours truly. But it's hard to do it. And, there's a lot of shows out there you can listen to. We just like to be a little bit different. That's all. Try to have like a normal conversation. Try not to use too many big words. I am your host, Mardel. You can follow me at Mardel Brennan on Twitter. You don't have to if you don't want to. Not going to force you. But what I would love for you guys to do, if you can't catch it in the morning, you can always listen to the show in podcast form. Subscribe on iTunes if you want, Google Play. The main hub for most of the shows is on Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, YouTube, SoundCloud. You can always listen to these programs. Anytime you want to talk, send me a message on Twitter. Or you can always leave a message at 844-627-3352 or a text message at the same number. So we are gearing up for SummerSlam. No way around it. We're just excited about this. I'll be tweeting the entire 6 hours. Not so much the first two, but definitely for the last four. And I have to thank everybody who is part of this show. Broadcast Row is the network that actually provides the show. And I have a tremendous amount of respect. Everybody who works with the WrestlingMorningShow.com. Everybody who helps us out here on Twitter. The show's great for you guys, the fans, without a doubt. Bring entertainment and our love for the WWE and professional wrestling. That's why we do the show. It's not rocket science. So we'll definitely have a lot of comments after the show. Maybe we'll even just hop on air after the show. I don't know. We'll see how the pulse is and the vibe. So we got to mood everyone's in. Hopefully, more importantly, you just enjoy tonight. Relax, enjoy it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys joining us for almost 2 hours today. Kind of doing a special program to kind of reintroduce ourselves. So, everybody, all wrestling fans, thank you so much. Hopefully, you enjoyed the show. We will talk to you very soon, especially Tuesday, Wednesday, 9 a.m. If you're all over the United States, the big solar eclipse is coming. Be careful. Don't look directly into it unless you got those glasses, which I'm sure are available on the WWE shop. Everybody, it's Mardel. Thank you. Be good.
The Wrestling Morning Show with Mardel, live on Broadcast Row. If you're a face, listen to the show at home, in the car.